Morrison leads off, and he gets plunked first pitch right in the back. This is like 5 games in a row, right? So there's some yelling across the diamond saying, "You guys want to play that way? You can play that way too, right? Like, enough's enough, right? Something's going to go down."
Welcome to episode 182 of Alberta Dugout Stories, the podcast. I'm Joe McFarland. The Battle of Alberta might be one of the most heated rivalries in all of pro sports. The Calgary Flames and Edmonton Oilers have hated each other from the very beginning, and that rivalry not only transcends hockey, but sports in general as well. When it comes to baseball, anytime Alberta's 2 largest cities face each other, it's bound to include some fireworks. Never was that more prevalent than on June 13th, 2006. The Northern League's Calgary Vipers were hosting the Edmonton Cracker Cats at Foothills Stadium when one of the most infamous brawls in baseball history broke out.
Of Alberta baseball style in the Northern League. In the second, Edmonton pitcher Reggie Rivard nails Drew Miller in the back. It looked like nothing was going to happen, but then the bench is empty. Words were exchanged. In the middle of it, the managers, Mike Bush and Terry Bevington, mixing it up. Just about everyone else was too. Punches thrown, players tossed, and teams were separated, and they got at it again. The game eventually called.
It's a story that our Ian Wilson has wanted to tell for a few years now, and he finally put it all together earlier this week on our website. For the podcast this week, we thought we'd start things off with a central piece of that battle. Current Medicine Hat Mavericks owner Greg Morrison was starring with the Cracker Cats after spending the previous season with the Vipers. His time in Calgary came to an unceremonious end, leading to some ill will and several beanballs. Morrison recalled the situation back on episode 156.
Yeah, there was a lot of balls back and forth. As a hitter, I think I got hit a few times, and being the former player and getting hits against the old team and that sort of thing, and a lot of that rivalry that that's born into hockey in Canada, as you know, just by geography, right? But yeah, it was one of those things where a couple balls went back and forth, and I think you probably know Drew Miller, a Medicine Hatter too, was involved. I think he ended up getting hit in the thigh, and once the ball gets hit, a couple guys on each team, it was quite the brawl. I think it made, I don't know if it was TSN or Sportsnet, but that's part of baseball, and it was one of those things where we went at it a couple times out on the field there, and I think those teams had a lot of Canadians on each team, so I don't think there was too much shying away from fisticuffs type thing.
Another central piece of the story is Reggie Rivard. He was the Cracker Cats starter on that fateful day, and he ended up with the most severe suspension when the dust finally settled, that being 20 games. Here now is the conversation he had with Ian a few weeks back to help craft the retrospective.
First of all, welcome to Alberta Dugout Stories, the podcast. We're working on a story on a very timely look back at the Battle of Alberta baseball style. And I think you've got some good memories that you can maybe share with us on how heated things can get in the baseball realm. So,
no, for sure, that was quite the start to that season. And the way it went down was Greg Morrison, Medicine Hat product that played in the Jays system back in the day. He was a first baseman with the Vipers for a few years, and needless to say, some stuff went down there, and he didn't go back. And I think we traded for him, but he ended up in Edmonton in 2006. And the first series was in Edmonton, and he was our cleanup hitter. He had gotten drilled, every game that series. Three games in a row, there was some bad blood there, and we had gone back to Calgary, I think, the following weekend, and we had a rookie pitcher on the mound on the Friday night, and Morrison gets drilled again on that Friday night, and Bissell, the pitcher, he said, should I retaliate? Should I get somebody back? And I was doing the chart because I was starting the Saturday night game, and I said, no, you throw your game. We'll look after it tomorrow. And so sure enough, first inning, we go 3 up, 3 down on top of the first. And I go in the bottom of the first, and I get a couple outs and drill a guy. And get out of the inning, and then Morrison leads off. And he gets plunked first pitch right in the back. This is like 5 games in a row, right?
Yeah.
And so there's some yelling across the diamond saying, you guys want to play that way? We can play that way too, right? Like, enough's enough, right? So, something's going to go down. And sure enough, go into the bottom of the second and get a couple guys, and then Drew Miller comes up and get him basically between the numbers, and the ball goes. Drew's a big farm boy, right?
He's
strong. It didn't really faze him. He got hit. I think he probably expected it, and he went to first base. Ball rolled to this. I think it was Javier Ortiz, a Colombian guy on the Viper, a pitcher from the Vipers roster. It rolled to him. I got the ball back and from the umpire, and then a ball kind of hit me in the foot. It rolled from the dugout's direction, and I realized, okay, somebody threw this freaking ball back to the mound, right? So I picked up the ball, and I walked towards their dugout, and I said, who the F threw this ball? And Ortiz, tapped his chest, and then there was some words exchanged, and then shit went down. They came out, and so did our bench, and the managers went at it, Bevington and Mike Bush, and I mean everybody was. It was pretty chaotic as baseball brawls can be. So your head's on a swivel, and you're trying to protect your teammates. You're in the middle, and shit's going on all over the place. So it was. I mean, people that have seen the video see that it was pretty chaotic, but it doesn't capture everything, right? And it was pretty intense, especially 2 managers going toe to toe. Terry Bevington being an old school guy, and same with Mike Bush and Morrison and Belsky, all these guys. So then it gets broken up, and some of the guys are getting ejected. We're waiting around the dugouts, and here comes this Ortiz, and he's walking like he's going to head towards their dugout, but he's walking kind of in front of ours, close. And I think this was Richmond and one other guy. Ortiz was a righty, and he's walking close, and it's like, what the hell's what is he doing? And he suckers me in the side of the head with the left, and I obviously lost track of time and went ballistic, and here we go again, right? And fists are flying all over the place. And then people turn on the video when the sucker punch has already been thrown, so it looks like, okay, we're a bunch of freaking nutcases, right, running at them, and this and that, and so they turn on the video, and that's when they capture guys, throwing haymakers and whatnot. Ended up getting a 20-game suspension.
Yeah, you got the worst of it for the suspension.
I got the worst of it. I got a 20-game suspension, and which was ridiculous. It's a quarter of a season. It's like a big leaguer getting 40 games, right?
Yeah.
Like in a 82-game schedule. And Ortiz ended up getting 12, and then some other guys got 3 and 4. I think Bevington got suspended and said, "Screw it, I'm not going to serve this," and he basically called it quits, right?
Yeah.
Which was unfortunate because he was an awesome manager, players guy. So it was chaotic and ridiculous at the same time to get 20 games. The guy should have maybe gotten 3, but at the end of the day, I mean, you're protecting your teammates.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
it needed to stop, and Morrison didn't deserve what he was getting, and it had to come down to, okay, let's finish this once and for all.
I want to go back. I mean, the 2 brawls in such a short span is one of the interesting parts of the whole experience. But I want to get back to the start of it again. What do you think made I've met Greg Morrison. He seems like a friendly enough, nice enough guy. What do you think made him such a target in the lead up to these brawls? Was it that he was a good player? Was it his departure from Calgary to Edmonton? What actually?
You know what?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a combination of both of those. I mean, he was a great player. Leaving Calgary and coming to Edmonton. I mean, as far as the bad blood there, I don't know. I don't know what went on, in that clubhouse the year prior, or how it all shifted. And frankly, it's none of my business. He was on my team in Edmonton, and they were going at him, and it needed to come to an end. I mean, I ended up playing for Calgary the following year, the year after. I had a terrible year in 2007 in Edmonton, and signed with the Vipers and spent 3 years with them, and I played for Bush after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I liked him. I did. You hear all these stories, but he was fine. He was, just like Bevington, just old school type guy, and obviously there was some differences in opinions or whatnot, but played with Morrison, and I've known Greg for quite a while, and he's an awesome guy, and a guy that you want to go to battle with. So whatever happened in the past, I mean, who knows, right? Like I said, none of my business, but it was interesting for sure.
Now, did you feel like, I'm assuming at that point you just felt, you know what, this is 5 games in a row, or however many times in a row that Greg's been plunked. Is it just a simple case of you saying, all right, enough is enough. Let's draw a line here, and
like I said, we had a rookie lefty on the mound that Friday night when he got drilled the first game in Calgary. I hadn't pitched against him the weekend before, and I knew I had the ball the next day, and basically, okay, this is going to happen tomorrow for sure. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen because this is ridiculous. It's come too far. Like, you getting hurt, and if we're not retaliating, I mean, we're accepting it, and that's not acceptable behavior, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's got to come to a clash and put it behind us, and that's basically what happened. I mean, after that brawl, it was competitive, always is between Edmonton and Calgary, but what needed to be done was done.
Yeah.
And then both teams, could just focus on playing baseball.
Yeah. Now, you obviously you'd played quite a bit of ball by that point in your life. How did that rank in terms of some of the on-field brawls or fights that you'd been involved in leading up to that?
You know what? And over the years there was quite a few.
Yeah.
But that one, and I had been suspended in the past as well, but not to that extent, and not the way that one went down. And to have a second one, that's up there for sure, because there was some bloodshed and a lot of fists thrown. A lot of the baseball brawls are basically a lot of pushing and shoving and stuff, right? So when there's fists flying and stuff,
it's pretty unusual to get 2 in such short order as well, right? Where it's they were, honestly, they were probably about 3 minutes apart, maybe. Yeah.
Right? Like it had all gotten busted up, and still to this day, I mean, I definitely, it still pisses me off that I was suspended for that time. Like, and that the other guy got 12. He's the one that threw the ball out to me and hit me. Not hard, it rolled my direction, but still, and then the second part of it, well, you get suckered, you're not going to take that, you're going to do something about it.
When you hear the phrase Battle of Alberta, baseball isn't necessarily the first sport that comes to mind. Obviously, we're we've got the NHL version of that going on, and I know throughout the province there are rivalries in the Western Canadian Baseball League. We had the Cannons and the Trappers square off, but as far as I can tell, that seems to have been like the highest event between Calgary and Edmonton in terms of baseball animosity. Did you get a sense of that, and did it really become this baseball's version of the Battle of Alberta after that?
Well, for that year,
yeah,
and things have, things aren't the same as they used to be. That's for sure. And I mean, especially even now compared to 10 years ago. But I remember, I think it was later that summer. There's a lot of friends, right? You guys become friends. They played with somebody, this and that. But I remember not that I wasn't friends with guys on other teams, but after the game, right? After the game, you can be friends or whatever. And during batting practice or whatnot, as far as chatting with other teams and stuff, it wasn't. I didn't like that, right? And I remember a guy coming out to batting practice in Edmonton. We were taking BP, and this guy come out. He was the starting pitcher that night. He come out in his street clothes, and he's talking to our bucket guy. And it was basically, take him out for dinner. Like, what are you doing on the field right now? Like, this is our batting practice, right? Like,
yeah.
I get you're a good guy, but I mean, this is still competitive, right? And everybody's different opinion of competitive, right, may be different, right? But
yeah.
it has changed a lot. And I mean, you look at the 70s and 80s and even 90s compared to now, it's a different. There's that competition or that rivalry in baseball anyway doesn't seem quite as intense as it used to be, right? And
yeah,
our world has changed, but it's nice to see some sparks last night, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully the Oilers, being an Oilers fan, can change things a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because kind of a crazy game and rough, and it's good to see that fire, right, and the Battle of Alberta, back from the 80s and early 90s, get started up again.
Absolutely, sure. Absolutely. Did you ever run into Javier Ortiz again, or have any cross paths with him again, or was that kind of the end of it?
No, I don't think he played. I don't think he was back in 07. He was there in 06, and I mean, that being said, I mean, he's it's probably not a bad thing that he did what he did.
Yeah.
Because it got things over with, right? Because I mean, how long was that going to go on? Morrison didn't need to get hit by any more baseballs. He had a share, so we knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of when, right?
Yeah.
And Drew, being the tough guy that he is, I mean, he just took it like a man and ran to first. No big deal. Probably, probably like a mosquito bite to him.
You mentioned you played for both teams. You played for Edmonton and then you played for Calgary. Was it a little weird at first crossing over, or was it just kind of whatever?
It was, but I mean, I had such a bad year in 07, and they let me go, I think in July or something, and I would have done the same thing. So I was just happy to get an opportunity to continue playing.
Yeah.
And got that opportunity in Calgary and met some of the guys that you weren't buddies with at the time, but they're all good guys, right?
And did you win a championship as well? Were you on the championship winning? Yeah.
We won, I think, in 09.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
but no, good memories from Calgary, and like I said, a bunch of good guys. Had a lot of fun.
I know in talking to Drew Miller, he had singled you out as, I still talk to Reg. He's a really good guy, and I assume you still kind of talk to maybe not all of the players that you used to do battle with, but some of them. It's a pretty small baseball
for
world.
Sure. Like I mean, guys like you run into them. I just seen John Huizinga in Phoenix in February, and I mean, if I'm in Okotoks or whatever, I'll see Joe Sargent or Lou Pote, and I still talk to Jordy all the time, and I see Drew or Jeff Freeborn or any of those guys, right? It's I mean, you went to battle together, and you kind of always have that bond, right? So and you do stay in touch with different guys, or if you haven't and you've seen them, it's like you've seen them yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of the baseball fraternity. It's neat that way. You might not see a guy for 15 years, and all of a sudden you talk to him, and that happens as well. Or you go to different parts, or you're traveling, and hey, what's going on? You reach out to a guy and go for a beer or whatever, and it's like you never lost touch.
Any parting memories from those two brawls before we wrap things up? I've got one more question for you after this, but any other things that stand out either in the melees themselves? I assume that gets a bit of a blur going on when you recover.
You know what? And you hardly. I mean, everyone's different, but most of the ones that I've been involved in, I don't remember very much of them. And you kind of see a video after, you might remember bits and pieces, but they're intense for sure. They're and one thing it can do too is bring a team closer, right? Because everybody's got each other's back, and they are they're interesting for sure. Can't really say that they're fun, but they're intense, and you never know. There's guys out there that are looking to cheap shot people, right? And that's never good.
Do people still bring it up to you, apart from me calling you, calling you out of the blue here?
Oh yeah, for sure. And guys, I mean, I've been involved in coaching for all the years that I played, like in the off season, and since I stopped playing after 2010, my son's going through it. He's second year Pee Wee now, but been involved in his teams and running camps and this and that, and guys will get wind of it and they'll YouTube it, and holy shit, Reggie, that was you. And, it was, and basically, it comes down to, well, you got to do what you got to do to protect your teammates, right? You guys are a family, and that's what it's all about. It's not about trying to pick fights. It's just about trying to end things from continuing to happen, right? And in that case, Mo getting hit all those times, I mean, that if we don't do anything, then we're accepting it, and you can't do that. Any sport, for sure.
Last question for you, and we ask this of every guest, and it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the Battle of Alberta or the brawls, but what does the game of baseball mean to you?
Oh man, it means a lot. I mean, it's I met my wife while playing winter ball in Venezuela, and I have a couple kids for it, and I've met people from all over the world, and it's experiences that you'll never get back, and lots of good memories. Some that you'd like to forget. When you're on the mound, it can be a lonely place if you're not getting it done at times. But all in all, no, it's just meeting so many different types of people and seeing so many different places on this earth. Going to Australia and Colombia and Venezuela and Holland and playing all over the States. I mean, it's showed me a lot of different things, and it helps shape who we are as far as dealing with so many different types of people in different situations, and trying to stay positive.
Good stuff. Well, thanks so much for joining us on the podcast today, and I'm sure we'll be in touch in the future as well. We've I know you've got a lot of stories, not just the Brawl one. So we'll keep in touch, and I appreciate you getting back to me.
Sounds great. Thanks, Ian.
Take care.
Thanks again to Reggie Rivard for joining us this week, and to Ian Wilson for putting together a great story on a fascinating chapter in Battle of Alberta history. Thanks to all of you for downloading and listening, and we'd also like to tip our caps to our Platinum supporters for all they do in helping spread the word about ADS. The Okotoks Dogs are off to a torrid start this WCBL season as they aim for a championship. For full details on their roster, tickets, and more, head to dogsbaseball.ca. And AHP Academy stands by its mantra of being devoted to driven athletes. Make sure to check them out at ahpbaseball.com. Until next time, thanks for all your support on social, online, and on air of Alberta Dugout Stories.